on the Fringe with Dan Radio style. Hope everybody out there's having themselves a great day. First off, it's going to be an exciting night. Planning on live streaming this. I'm filming this just around 11 a.m. So this is supposed to happen 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Eastern. So I will be trying my best to get on there a little early and live stream it. I've already talked to the girlfriend, kind of worked out all the kinks. So life's groovy there. So hopefully we'll see a bunch of you guys live. If not, you can watch it on X, on Donald Trump's Twitter feed. He's had a few tweets today. Interesting how things are playing out. It's kind of funny, too, because something I didn't think he'd do because of truth, but I've always said it makes sense to do because it's a huge audience. So, I don't know. I'm kind of perplexed at the same time, not surprised, but kind of. But it seems like everything's on the table right now, doesn't it? We got all this weird fakery going on with the media trying to make Kamala and Walz seem better than they are. And then we got Trump doing just crazy stuff on the backside. Very exciting time to be alive. And honestly, this will be the biggest internet sensation, I think, ever. I think the numbers that will be pulled through tonight are going to be astronomical. I definitely want to be a part of it. If you think about it from a live moment, I'm trying to bring a lot of people to a common ground, a common thinking, and the power that that holds. This is going to be game-changing. So join with me, join with them. Don't matter where you join from, just make sure you've joined that. You want to be a part of that live experience. I think that really is going to be amazing. All right, let's get into it. Lots of stuff to talk about. No, it's like an Elon Musk thing about Antarctica that I wanted to watch. It was way too long. But yes, let's get going. We've got a few videos to start with everything. You guys know how I kind of like to, start it on the right foot, if you will, or the left. It doesn't matter how you do it. I just want to start with the dance. But this is the final battle. This is kind of a good reminder. I don't know. I like these things.
This is the final battle. With you at my side, we will demolish the deep state. We will expel the warmongers from our government. We will drive out the globalists. We will cast out the communists, Marxists, and fascists. We will throw off the sick political class that hates our country. We will rout the fake news media, and we will liberate America from these villains once and for all.
Powerful stuff, I should say. And again, it's just a campaign thing, but yeah, let's start off there. And then we got some eyewitness video that we're now seeing behind on the Butler videos. It's kind of a weird place I put this, but whatever. I'm going to go with this.
So we're standing exactly in the path where the president will walk out to the crowd about an hour from now, and there's a malfunction with the flag.
Be careful!
The hood's rocking with Trump. Trump's definitely got the black vote back.
Making America great again.
Donald Trump is the boss. And when you think you're in control, Donald Trump does something that says you're not in control.
You think Biden could do this? I don't think so.
What is the campaign specifically doing differently now?
If there's one word to describe it, it's just execution.
Biden's just taken the stage of the debate.
The standard is not, are you able to stand up for 90 minutes?
I can't even understand him right now.
Trump is like riding a great racehorse, right? You put the blinders on, you guide him into the corners, and you let him run.
Look at how many people are showing up for a rally. Everyone, please, just make sure you're ready. 30 seconds. Let's go, America!
I repeat, the president's been shot.
Oh yeah, that's why I put that on there. Ah ha ha! Beautiful way to start the day. All right, let's get this ball rolling. We got some interesting news. I think this started more in Europe this morning, it seems anyways, but it was affecting people here in the States, probably East Coast mostly, because when I woke up, I was actually utilizing some of these things just fine. But Google is apparently down. Their search engine, their YouTube, and other services were hit with a worldwide outage. A pretty big deal. They're saying issues began around 9 a.m. Eastern time, apparently. Wow, that's shocking. Like I said, it was 6 a.m. my time. I guess Huh, maybe I wasn't looking at emails. Yeah, I was. I was looking at emails. What the hell? Anyway, maybe it didn't affect all users. Worked out okay. Los Angeles, New York were two of the key places, and then obviously it hit England, Manchester, and London, which I think is significant. One, these would be nodes from across the ocean for sure. Probably the same here. Manchester and London would, of course, go across to Europe as well. I'm sure other places do, but it's very interesting things that are happening these days. I don't necessarily see all these things. Like, I think there's some good guy stuff going on, or there's changes being made. I don't know. There's things happening. And this is significant for the first and second largest search engine, which is regular Google, and then YouTube is the second largest search engine. These going down is insane, and of course affected a lot of people, unfortunately. City of Chicago. What do we do this one for? Let's see, I'm writing to request information regarding the recently announced management-led buyout of Sequoia voting systems. Oh, yes. So this is pointing out something interesting, that government entities have known about this proprietary selling of election machine companies, and they've stayed silent. Like, they saw this stuff happening in the background. Years and years, they've been doing these little buying up each other or going into other countries and doing some very strange things. And believe it or not, it was actually the Democrats that brought it up first and were complaining about how this was happening. And a lot of things the Democrats used to do really well. And it's weird how I think they were hijacked, or they've just always been going down this path and it finally became crazy because they had to really diverge into communism rather than just continue down the middle like they were. Whatever the case is, this is interesting that they've known about these different voting software platforms and some of the shenanigans that have been happening. Now, Chuck Calesto put this out. Harris campaign was busted using the fake crowd photo at a campaign rally stop. We talked about this on yesterday's show, but there's a lot of people that are trying to say that we're the crazy ones for pointing this out, that this is not true, what we're stating. Now, again, if you look at these images and you zoom in and look at every single cell phone, none of these cell phones are actually showing what's in front of them. Also, if you look at the images, they're not that good. Also, people have pointed out the fact the reflections on the planes are just not quite what should be in front. See, in front of this reflection, you would see thousands of people, but instead you see, what, another airplane possibly? Definitely not people. So there's a lot of things that just don't work, but they continue down their path. Right? Like, how can they lie so blatantly when there's actual obvious shown fakery? Like, we're demonstrating how you're lying. What is this? Rolling Stone. Trump falsely claims that the crowds seen at Harris rallies are fake. The one, at least. I don't know what that's the picture we're talking about. What else we got? CNN, Trump falsely accuses Harris campaign of fabricating AI crowd photos. Who else? HuffPost, Trump accuses Harris of using AI to create fake crowds at campaign events. You get it. There's a bunch of them, right? You got Forbes, CNN, Raw Story, Rolling Stone, all these jokers. Salon, whatever. Here's Harris's campaign. We're from what we understand, and we'll watch the video, and I think it's rather telling. But from what we understand, they needed to go to the bathroom, so they put duct tape over a camera, then broke in, used lockpicks, call it what you want, into this salon. The alarm was going off while these people were using the facilities. Let's look at the video. You tell me what I'm seeing. So here's her putting that on, right? That's the picture. You can hear it in this video here. This is just a trip. Check this video out. This is insane. As far as I'm concerned, it looks like she steals something. I mean, you can watch the rest of the 13 seconds. She doesn't put anything back. Looks like she grabbed something. Whatever the case is, it seems as though they might very well have broken in to be able to relieve themselves. This is the Harris campaign, by the way. Their Secret Service, supposedly. Again, more marks on the face of the Secret Service right now. That's always good. Harris's campaign touts border record in a new ad. They're just talking about how great their immigration policies are. Again, it's just weird how they come out and say that just the exact opposite of what's actually happening. And it's through messing with numbers, right? Again, they were flying people in, and they've recently stopped that program. So now all of a sudden they hype that as, we've reduced it by 50,000 people. And it's like, because you're not flying them in anymore? Yeah, but it's a reduction. Something we did. Literally, it's what they're doing. Now, whatever. I'm not worried about it personally. You guys probably shouldn't be, but if you are, we'll get through this. Kamala Harris is being recast as a centrist Democrat. This is what everyone's trying to say right now. They're trying to make her sound like this. But the radical truth is pretty plain to see. She's got all sorts of crazy stuff. So some of the belief system stuff they talk about, chameleon, this is a quote from her. She would not ban fracking, Harris campaign told Politico. Trump's false claims about fracking bans are an obvious attempt to distract from his own plans. But the truth is Donald Trump claims were not false. During the 2020 presidential campaign, Harris said repeatedly she wanted to ban the gas and oil extraction method, which has become an economic lifeblood of Pennsylvania and other states. Quote, "There is no question I'm in favor of banning fracking," she said on a CNN discussion. Chameleon. Harris' campaign also confirmed that the vice president no longer supports a single-payer health care system. The truth? That's quite a 180 from the candidate in 2020 who was asked if you would be able to keep the health insurance you had under Harris' presidency. Quote, "Let me eliminate all of that," she said. "Let's move on." Oh, okay. Not even going to worry about that stuff anymore. Chameleon, we know that our immigration system is broken, and we know what it takes to fix it, Harris said in Las Vegas this past week. The truth? Harris has never wanted to fix it before. She wanted to throw the whole thing out. She favored getting rid of ICE and even said that crossing the border illegally was no crime. Quote, "We're not going to treat people who are undocumented who cross the border as criminals," she said. It is not even fair to call this one a flip-flop. It's a straight-up lie. Harris's one classification on what was broken was that we needed to earn a earned pathway to citizenship, which will reward the people who came here illegally. Not only that, but it wants a whole bunch of illegal people to be here already just waiting for this possible pathway to citizenship. But a bunch of y'all ain't going to make it, so we can only take so many. So legal system, what? So then they just all mill around in the country? They've got issues going all through this stuff. The press were blazingly claiming that Joe Biden and Kamala Harris did not support defunding the police. That's an absolute lie. They're saying it's a lie to suggest otherwise. There's all sorts of places of her on video. I might even have one. I don't know if I kept it, of her saying it. Last week, Harris spokesperson told the Washington Examiner that Harris no longer supports a federal job guarantee, an idea championed by some on the left and the Green New Deal proponents. Truth is, she not only backed the Green New Deal, she wanted to break the Senate to get it passed. "I am prepared to get rid of the filibuster to pass the Green New Deal," she once said. Harris has claimed she stands shoulder to shoulder with Israel, except when she refuses to attend the Prime Minister's address to Congress. That's the facts. So a lot of strange things going on. She is a flip-flopper. There's just a ridiculous amount of stuff. She is, like I said yesterday, she's a heat shield. She's like the shield. They're burning her up so they can actually get closer to the event and then try to get a honeymoon phase on maybe Michelle Obama. We'll see. Maybe. It'd be funny. Kamala Harris is strong. This is Donald Trump's truth, by the way. Kamala Harris is strong for years on open border, no fracking, to fund the police, and more. Let's see her flip-flop on those little lifelong policies of hers. A completely fraudulent campaign. And she is. She's just lying. She says whatever chameleon. That's why they keep calling her that. She'll say whatever she needs to. It doesn't matter. Here's Catherine Herridge, I think, talking to a Homeland Security whistleblower. Anyway.
Are you alleging that Homeland Security's failure to comply with the DNA collection law may have been a contributing factor in Rachel Morin's death?
It may have been a contributing factor, yes.
No question in your mind?
None.
That's a very serious charge to make.
It is.
Based on our reporting, the suspect didn't just have one encounter with border agents, he had multiple encounters. So there were multiple opportunities to take his DNA.
We understand we had 3 bites at the apple with this subject and never took it.
It's going to be hard for the family to hear that there was an opportunity to identify the suspect and stop him if federal law had been followed.
Absolutely. Had the subject had DNA taken the first time they were encountered, there would have been an instant possibility that any future criminal activity would have been stopped immediately, and there was definite potential for the individual to be apprehended.
So again, this is one of those fun little things where had things been less open borders and more doing what we're supposed to, we probably wouldn't have the crimes we have, for sure. But secondly, we also would have ways to capture and know who exactly these people were and have gotten them out way the hell before. Many, many things aren't going well. So this might be the thing I was talking about earlier. Here's the Meet San Francisco radical Kamala Harris, just so we can actually hear her words. Not making any of this up, though I'm sure they'll doubt they're her words because they doubt everything else that's actual and factual.
I am Kamala Harris. My pronouns are she and her. You're considered the most liberal United States senator. Well, actually, the nonpartisan GovTrack has rated you as the most liberal senator.
Do you have any plans to visit the border?
We are going to the border. We've been to the border.
You haven't been to the border.
And I haven't been to Europe. I am in favor of saying that we're not going to treat people who are undocumented cross borders criminals. That's correct. That is correct.
A lot of the signs at the rally you just held were people standing there saying, abolish ICE.
Yeah.
Is that a position that you agree with?
We need to probably think about starting from scratch.
So you support giving universal health care, Medicare for all to people who are in this country illegally?
I am opposed to any policy that would deny in our country any human being public health, period.
Are you for defunding the police?
How are you defining defund the police? It's actually wrong and backward to think that more police officers will create more safety. We need to get rid of money bail.
Convicted, in prison, like the Boston Marathon bomber, on death row, people who are convicted of sexual assault, they should be able to vote?
I think we should have that conversation. I am prepared to get rid of the filibuster to pass a Green New Deal. I have always supported Medicare for all. I was very happy to sign on to Bernie's bill, and I give Bernie, frankly, a lot of credit. There's no question I'm in favor of banning fracking.
Do you ban plastic straws?
I think we should.
Yeah, I mean, again, this is an interesting time in history, how this plays out. I mean, of course, the deep state doesn't want to lose power, so they're going to do everything in their power to cheat. Now, this is not Democrats, not Republicans. This is like, there's a lot of good people all over the place, and there's certainly a lot of independents that don't necessarily want to be a part of either party. Frankly, they've just been beat up by them both throughout life, right? Like, so sometimes it's more an issue of moving the ball forward for the country, which I think is kind of where we're all starting to finally unite, is around that idea of making America great again, regardless of what political party you fall into. Sometimes you've just got to do what's best for the country. And so I think a lot of people are going to figure that out. We'll see. MSNBC's Mark Murray, neither young voters nor black voters nor independent voters are moved in Harris's direction. 15 seconds. Check it out.
With young people, is there any data on that?
So what's interesting is that young voters and also ended up black voters didn't change all that much between where Biden was in Pennsylvania in July and where Harris is now. Independents did move in Harris's direction. So, yeah, not going well for them. The honeymoon is over. It is. It just is. We've got an interesting little post here. Nancy Pelosi's library visit turned campaign stop may have violated IRS rules. This is going to be very interesting because the library where she was doing her speech had booked this thing as a nonprofit, but she started talking politics, which you can't do at nonprofits, especially speeches in that regard. So the fact that Nancy Pelosi brought up Kamala and her support for her was illegal, or at least from an IRS standpoint. We'll see what happens. I mean, I don't know. They're kind of going after Hunter. I don't know. Maybe they'll go after her. I doubt it, but who knows? It would be cool. It would be a legit thing to start to tie her down with legal woes. African-American parents from Maryland are suing Washington's Children's National Hospital for requiring them to denounce their religious faith and affirm a transgender identity for their 16-year-old autistic son in order to regain access to him and not lose custody. The family lost their son to the foster care system in November 2021 and have not seen him since.
They initially brought their son to the hospital for a mental health emergency. The family has remained anonymous, using the monikers Mr. and Mrs. John Doe 2 in court to protect their son's identity as well as the identity of their 2 younger children. The parents, both in their 40s, allege that the Washington, D.C. hospital denied them access to their son unless they denounced their Baptist faith, and also agreed to use female pronouns for him, which they refused. Their son was kept in the hospital on emergency mental health holds for 41 days before he was placed in foster care. They allege that the WCNH hospital chaplain, Lavender Kelly, who identifies as non-binary and was counseling their son during his hospital stay, has socialized with high-level members of the Biden administration, including Assistant Secretary for Health and Human Services Dr. Rachel Levin. Levin is publicly known for expressing support of childhood medical transition. According to the lawsuit, Kelly was brought in for faith conversion sessions, which the family to convert them into new Christianity. Whatever. Lawsuit filed in 2024. We'll see. But they're a state trying to take away someone's children because of this transgender thing. And it's like they're trying to just take the parents out of the equation, which means you've got someone else that's been talking your child into this. That's where it's very concerning. You've literally got, I'm going to call them predators because they're talking to children about changing sex and doing some pretty radical things as an expert. And that's freaky. Because what's happening and how this changes the physical body, and you can't go back from it. There's a lot of counseling and other things that can be done, but that's not what they want. They want to stop the movement of whatever biological sex is occurring and change it or transition it into the other midstream. And the sooner they do it, the more I think we end up with people like, Pink. And I don't mean to disrespect, but I think that's an individual that was probably a boy at birth, probably was transitioned very young because of her family. And now we have what we have. Fabulous performer, certainly. But yeah, a lot of things you can look into. I'm not trying to get off in the weeds too far. All said. Law and disorder. How the Soros machine, directs and controls prosecutors across America to implement its leftist agenda. It's supposedly MRC, this is the group, they've been involved in this freedom of information and all sorts of stuff. They've uncovered some 7,700 plus pages of internal communications from dozens of Soros-backed prosecutors, all over this country. Soros invests at least $117 million to install, direct, and control 126 radicalized prosecutors. So they do all sorts of crazy bidding. They don't go after certain things. The Soroses are America's top cops. At least 30% of the U.S. population currently lives under the boot of the Soros prosecutors. The Soros machine, so they go to the populated places. He's very smart about how he spends his money. The Soroses are America's top cops. Soros machine sets policies and priorities, including colluding to break the law. Soros-funded groups are set political agendas for the prosecutors, incentivizing them to target police and the left's political opponents while pushing them not to enforce certain laws. Soros machine held at least 51 meetings with prosecutors. They funded groups like Fair and Just Prosecution, the Vera Institute, the Prosecutors Alliance of California, and the Anti-Defamation League. Organized at least 51 meetings, sometimes making them mandatory to coordinate Soros prosecutors to get them to go after and do certain things. The media just must do a better job covering crime and its origins. Reporters should do some genuine journalism and investigate the Soros operations. Congress needs to get involved. Governors and state attorneys generals need to get involved. And private attorneys and other individuals must get involved too. This is a huge thing that's going on, very radicalized, and we all have to get involved however we can. Some of us have abilities, some of us don't. If you're tied up in their system, IRS, 401k, IRA or 401k, talking about that story or already did, whatever. If you've got an IRA or a 401k, you definitely are tied up in their system. You're tied to dollars and you're tied to stocks. Dollars are getting beat up with inflation constantly, and stocks are wobbling big time. We know they've been pumping all sorts of money into that, but that's actually driving down the value. So it's keeping the dollar amount up, but because they keep printing money to do it, it's actually causing the value of that dollar, because of inflation, to go down, which means your stocks are sitting at a kind of a level playing field. They'll be like, I'm like up 2%. But inflation is up like 4, 5, 6% overall because they compare it to the last 12 months. So rolling. It's gotten better. Finally stopped spiking, but it spiked for a bunch and it hasn't gone negative. So we're still going up from where we were, just not as fast. Yay. But we're already ridiculous. Look at the prices of rents and what's happened to those in the last 2 years. Same box of goods, it's almost twice as much money now in most places across this country. Just a great example. So your stocks have been holding pretty steady, but they're not. You're actually losing buying power. Precious metals haven't done that. Precious metals have actually gone positive. They've gone up in price more than their value. So you actually have gained value. Bitcoin still is, but the numbers, I don't know what the numbers are now after their little bit of a fiasco that happened on Monday. I think it's probably coming back, I'm sure, to a degree, but all said, Bitcoin was doing very well as well. So those are only two assets that were actually positive value. Only two. You can get out of their system, tax-free, penalty-free, into a precious metals IRA. Just hit up my good friends, Goldco. Just go to drslikesgold.com. drslikesgold.com. They're going to help you through this process. They're going to help you 4 data points. If you qualify too, by the way, if you've got this thing, just act like you're going to click off. If you don't see this, act like you're going to click off the screen and it'll pop up. And that's, put the data points there. And if you qualify, if you got an actual IRA in there, you'll get a free half-ounce silver coin. 0.999% pure. It's got Ronald Reagan on it, just to say thanks. It's pretty awesome. Beautiful coin, too, for that matter. 4 data points. Go to drslikesgold.com. drslikesgold.com. Get out of their system before they get out of you. And if you're sitting on some cash, you can buy some precious metals. They'll ship them right to you. And by the way, when you do the IRA, it's physical metals. It's not paper, right? It's actually in a trust. So you've got physical metals that you literally could say, hey, send me those metals. They're yours. They're in existence. They got like your name, a sticker or something on them. It's yours in a trust. drslikesgold.com. Get out of their system, folks. Take what you can with you to the new system because you can just liquidate at that point. It's very liquid. Gold's awesome. Silver's awesome. You can spin it up to whatever. It's going to be something that we'll be able to convert back into these other currencies that are bound to come. Whatever the case is, this is literally, you could use this stuff to trade as is. It's a powerful thing about gold and silver. drslikesgold.com. drslikesgold.com. Yep, get out of their system before they get out of you. All right. Here is, you guys remember the quote, right? They won't even be able to walk on the streets. Let's keep that in mind.
Hey, Trump, Dominicans actually hate your guts, right? Because you're a scumbag. You know that, right? You ruined New York. You're a loser. You're a loser, buddy. You're a loser.
Now, in my understanding of New York, that's... At first, you don't even know. That could be being endearing. Hey, you know what? You're the fuckface, huh? And you're like, I love you too, man. Because New York's funny that way. But I don't think this was. I think this was one of those moments where someone was literally like, no, seriously, you're a fuckface. And thus he is. Pelosi on the letter Biden posted on X announcing he was dropping out of the presidential race. She's been all supportive of all this, but here's her words talking about how the letter just didn't feel like him.
I didn't accept the letter as anything but a letter. And there are some people who were unhappy with the letter. Let me say that some said that some people were unhappy with the letter. I'll put it in somebody else's mouth because it was I don't even know, it didn't sound like Joe Biden to me. It really didn't. So
here, let me translate that for everybody. What she's saying is probably Karine Jean-Pierre, whoever, has control of his Twitter account. It's been the one that's her, talks all the time. She accidentally tweeted one time when we know this for a fact that she's managing all this. Biden's not doing it. He's retarded. He can't. He's on the beach 40% of the time. So what she's saying is that Karine Jean-Pierre, essentially, or at least she was the one that they used to do this, not blaming her per se, but she put out a tweet that said that Biden was stepping out. And what Nancy Pelosi's saying is, okay, but really, shouldn't it come from him? He's talked about it. He's kind of accepted it, but it's not been officially formalized, and I'm not sure what that translates into. I guess we'll find out. But kind of a weird statement that Nancy's making. Everything she says is kind of weird. Usually, it's strange how the dentures just don't. I don't know. Your gums get to a point where the Fix-A-Dent just doesn't stick anymore. I don't know. It might be. President Joe Biden, Barack Obama, and the Clintons are apparently going to be speaking at the Democratic National Convention. They have the date in here. Is it August 19th? That's when it's scheduled. Okay. What is that? What day is the 19th? That is Monday. All right, next Monday. Ah, fabulous. Okay, well, that'll be fun. That'll be all sorts of news. I'm sure it'll be salacious. There's obviously Kim Clement talked about it. I've had a bunch of people tell me about this. Someone else just recently sent me an email. It's cool. It's all good. I've just been told a lot about this. But there is a prophecy that something's going to happen there. You've already got the DNC coming out and saying because of what happened at Trump before the RNC that there's going to be some sort of retaliation. They're using that word, not me, but that's... So there's a lot of weird stories that are spun around this RNC or DNC convention, and this is going to be interesting. I don't know. When you get a lot of weird energy like that towards focused on a thing, like I keep telling you, that's what's going to be powerful about tonight. When you get a lot of energy focused on one thing, it's life-changing, and this is weird. I don't know. I don't know what they're trying to do or what's supposed to happen or what they're hoping to happen, or I don't know. Maybe, I don't even want to speculate. I don't want to be on record at all having anything to do with what potentially happens. Hunter Biden's lawyers say claims about foreign business dealings have no place in the upcoming tax trial. They make an interesting argument. I think it's crap, and I think the counter argument is sufficient, but they make an interesting argument. Normally, their arguments kind of suck. So they're pissed off about the fact that they're filing this information about how he had the Algerians or whatever, right? And their money, millions were being paid to them to get influence for political office. So that's what's happening. Now, this is his lawyers basically saying these matters on the eve of Mr. Biden's trial. There is no mention of political influence in the 56-page indictment. They continue. The special counsel's unnecessary change of tactic merely echoes the baseless and false allegations of foreign wrongdoing, which have been touted by House Republicans to use Mr. Biden's proper business activities in Romania and elsewhere to attack him and his father, Algeria, Romania, whatever. Prosecutors said that they want to bring in evidence of the arrangement with the Romanian businessman to rebut arguments from the defense that Hunter Biden's drug use during the years in which he's accused of failing to pay his taxes affected his decision-making and judgment. The evidence shows his actions do not reflect someone with a diminished capacity, given that he agreed to attempt to influence U.S. public policy and receive millions of dollars as part of the arrangement, prosecutors wrote. The Romanian businessman Gabriel Popaviciu wanted U.S. government agencies to probe a bribery investigation he was facing in his home country in the hopes that he would end his legal troubles. So you give a few $1 million to the Bidens or the Clintons back in the day, and you got favorable treatment. The Clintons were doing the same thing with the Clinton Foundation, by the way. We haven't even gotten to that because they made like probably almost $1 billion. They made insane amounts of money. I don't know what the exact numbers are, but I know hundreds of millions, way better than the Bidens. The Bidens sucked. Clintons are laughing at the Bidens. They're like, you guys don't even know what you're doing. You're idiots. And they are. They are. And Joe Biden says Hunter's the smartest person he knows. That should tell us right there. Right there, everything falls apart. Richard Gurnell posted this. Everyone knows Wikipedia is a tool of the left. It isn't accurate. It's an opinion site. And I guess Ryan Fournier is saying, whoa, why did Wikipedia scrub J.D. Vance's medals from his prior service with the Marine Corps? Well, that's strange. July 2024 with the Wayback Machine. Oh, he's got like a Navy Marine Corps Achievement Medal, Marine Corps Good Conduct Medal, Global War on Terrorism Service Medal, Iraq Campaign Medal, Navy and Marine Corps Sea Service Deployment Ribbon. Now it just says Navy and Marine Corps Achievement Medal. Well done. That's like when they punch you in the shoulder, I think, and then they give you a little gay medal. Is that how it happens? That's their first one. That's like when you graduate, right? When you do your first hoo-ah or whatever. Like, I don't know how it works. I got to ask Alpha one of these days. Supposedly there's a chance we're coming back here. I don't know. I'm going to give it a little time. My boy is going to reach out to me at some point. I guess he sort of did. Might be 2 weeks. We'll see. I don't know. Miss my guy, but we'll see. He's busy. And I got nothing bad to say about my boy. What the hell is this? All right. Oh, there's another one of those cool videos. All right, check this out. This is good stuff.
Please welcome President Ronald Reagan, who has a few questions for you.
All of you will go to the polls, will stand there in the polling place and make a decision. I think when you make that decision, it might be well if you would ask yourself, are you better off than you were 4 years ago? Is it easier for you to go and buy things in the stores than it was 4 years ago? Is there more or less unemployment in the country than there was 4 years ago? Is America as respected throughout the world as it was? Do you feel that our security is as safe, that we're as strong as we were 4 years ago? If you don't think that this course that we've been on for the last 4 years is what you would like to see us follow for the next 4, then I could suggest another choice that you have.
President Trump. He'll make America great again.
Nice. I forget why I put some of the stuff here, man. I just, it gets laid out, and that's what happens. All right, some J13 stuff. New body cam footage shows Trump shooter jumping between rooftops. This is just so ridiculous. It's such a communication problem. The fact that they weren't on the same frequencies between the Secret Service and the police, or that they had any form of direct communication to them while they were there working this event. But here's evidence. I don't know, see how big I can make it. It's not great evidence, but you can see a dude, I believe, made his way across or is going to. Some were saying he was supposedly getting his gun out and then he takes off kind of trucking, but I think there's some video of him actually popping out across the roof, making a little bit of a leap. Yeah, not good. But they see him. This is a cop's body cam. And he was doing something and he gets up. I don't know if he's got anything with him, but that's a little sketch, right? And then I think this is better, maybe. Get no volume so I could feel it. It would be like what happens tonight when I probably come on. Maybe I'll have some music in the background, too. I'll try to pick some music, plan this better for this Musk thing for whoever wants to show. I think it'll be fun. We're going to play it, and then we'll talk after, I'm sure, a little bit, and a little bit before, and then we'll, stream the thing. It should be friggin' awesome, assuming it works. I'm expecting them to have glitches for sure. This is going to be huge. The hugest. Yeah, so he jumps across. I don't think we have anything too significant there, but it's, we have extra footage of what's going on. House Task Force is investigating Trump's assassination attempt. They're demanding briefings. The task force chair, Mike Kelly, he's the ranking member. Jason Crow's the Democrat, sent one letter to Homeland Security Secretary Alejandro Mayorkas and acting Secret Service Director Ronald Rowe, and another to Attorney General Merrick Garland and FBI Director Christopher Wray. In the letters, the panel's leaders plant a flag as the House's investigative authority in the assassination attempt matter, saying that its requests will supersede all others from House committees and members. The department and agencies should provide, quote, all documents and information that have been produced to date, end quote, in response to other House committee and members so far, the letters say, and provide the task force directly with information going forward. They're going to be pushing very hard now. Again, investigation going into it. I know Trump knows he's under duress. I know Trump knows he's got to be careful who he can trust, like the maintenance thing that happened. And again, he flies his plane a lot of hours. I don't think he's got 2 planes. He might. It's expensive as hell. Planes are super expensive. And so again, I don't know. It could be people sabotaging his own stuff, but I don't think he's that stupid. You're relying on police and Secret Service and this weird thing when you go to places like this, where he's butler, right? But your own plane? Yeah, no, you're not just letting any Joe Schmo walk in. He's like, yeah, hey, some guy with a matchstick in his mouth. Yeah, hey, no, I'm here to fix your plane. Yeah, no, I was just here out there. Right, yeah, no, I always got explosives and wires hanging out of me. What's up? Like, no, it's not happening like that. Dude, Donald Trump is vetting the shit out of these people. So, I don't know. Maybe, who knows? Maybe, I just know Donald Trump's not stupid. There's a lot of people that are like, dude, you need to take my advice, Donald Trump. It's like, no, he probably doesn't. You probably have no idea what the hell is going on. I get you. You're an expert in some form of field, but again, and everyone will agree with this. There's questions you got to ask. You actually have to have direct feedback from the individual. Like, well, did you do this? Oh, okay. You did. Oh, you did do that. All right. Well then, right. That instantly changes a lot of things. So there's aspects that you have to ask questions, and none of us know the answers to any of those questions at all, nor should we really, because it would offer up how Trump is protecting himself. Anyway, I just want you guys to know he's safe. He's got the armor of God on. He, like myself, keeps it on all the time. A lot of you guys put it on every day. You're like, I put it on today. I'm like, I left it on from yesterday. It smells a little, but it's okay. It's okay. It's delicious. That's how you do it, man. That's how you play. Judicial Watch announced today that the Federal Bureau of Investigation withheld information on the Freedom of Information Act request for information about its coordination with the U.S. Secret Service regarding the July 13th Butler, Pennsylvania rally at which former President Trump was shot. In denying Judicial Watch's FOIA request, the FBI cites FOIA Exemption 7A, which applies to information that, quote, would deprive a person of a right to a fair trial or an impartial adjudication, end quote. Judicial Watch pursuing the next steps in preparation for litigation. They say, quote, were there others involved in the assassination attempt on Trump? If not, then why would the FBI use the excuse of protecting someone's right to a fair trial to hide records on the FBI and Secret Service's inexcusable failures to protect Trump from being nearly assassinated? The Biden-Harris administration is running a major league cover-up on the near assassination of former President Trump. I don't disagree with that, but I have kind of a problem with this. And I know this is meant to do what it's meant to do. It's a lawyer thing. You lead, right? You're leading. You're not supposed to lead, but you lead. Were there others involved in the assassination attempt on Trump? And they're asking this because apparently giving them this information would have deprived somebody of a trial. Now, I'm not sure who's on trial. Obviously not Crooks, because that dude's head popped like a watermelon. Or a watermelon shot, but whatever. This doesn't necessarily mean there was other shooters, because if there were, we've heard, and this is possible, and I'm not trying to say this isn't possible, because I have seen you guys all send me information about the multiple shooters, and I get it, right? There's a lot of stuff, and there's also stories. I haven't seen anything solid on it at all, but I've heard and been told that there's stories of people being arrested, but I don't have any evidence of that at all. I'd love to see the story or some place where it's cited and some other than somebody's email where they're like, no, and I saw that it's like, I don't know. I try to be somewhat responsible, right? But hell, I use shit that's, I pull up Q posts every once in a while. So I'm not perfect. I'm not shiny, but we are trying to do the best we can. So J13, stuff's coming out. And there could have been multiple shooters. I don't know if that changes anything at all. And that's the other part of the problem, right? Does it? I don't know. I mean, yeah, there was a conspiracy, almost sure of that. How many shooters there were? I think inside the office, I've talked about that. I think that's a very strong possibility because sonically, they would sound very close together, especially if you had the exact same make and model, which the dude that supposedly went to the FBI and the dude's work and the dude's house, that whoever owned that phone, they probably made sure they went shooting with him a bunch too. Like they might have been his mentor. So we'll see. Adam Schiff posted this, and it's just kind of funny right after things happen, right? And we know Trump's, quote, campaign got hacked recently. Adam Schiff posts, as the former chair of the House Intelligence Committee, I wanted to share some quick thoughts on reports that the Trump campaign was hacked, potentially by foreign malign actors. First, the intelligence community should move with great alacrity to declassify and disclose any inappropriate information or any appropriate information it has concerning the potential foreign nature of this interference. Transparency is still our best deterrent against foreign influence operations. They want to be able to blame Iran for this. So Schiff, before the story's even sort of hot, he's already pushing it. He's not even in the intelligence community. To my understanding, I thought they yanked some of those privileges from him because of how he was abusing them. And yet here he is still making stuff up. So he was talking about how 2016, we should have known it was Russia. Again, going back to the same initial bullshit. It's just weird how immediately the Iran story comes out and here's Adam Schiff trying his best. Now, maybe Adam Schiff was behind the hack. It's possible. Don't know. Here is Dr. Khalila Ali. I hope I'm Khalila? Probably, maybe. Whatever. It's Dr. Muhammad Ali's former wife. And she's got some powerful words as far as how she feels about Donald Trump.
I would like to read a few lines from your book.
But I'm voting for Trump, so I don't care what nobody believes. I don't care what nobody says. I don't care what you think or whatever. I've studied what Trump wants to do. I studied what Trump wants to make change. I saw what Trump has tried to do. And people who just want to be a hater, they don't get in the information that they need to be. Yeah. A guy asked me the other day, why are you voting for Trump? And I told him why. I gave him 5 reasons. He said, at least you told me a reason. Every time I ask somebody else about it, they never give me a real reason, but at least You gave me a reason. I accept your question. I accept your answers. That's all I got to say. And I don't care what you think. I don't care what. I don't care. If I believe in something, I believe in something. I don't care what you believe, and I don't care what you don't believe. It don't matter to me. There you go. People can go wrong in any second. People can go bad, but I'm not controlling the people. I'm just watching
That's the problem.
Yeah.
We, people are afraid to stand up for what they believe in.
Yeah, but see, I stand up and say what I believe in. If you don't like it, I don't care. So see, that's me. You got a problem with that? You got a problem with me. There you go.
Why do you think people are so afraid?
Yeah, I wear my Trump hat every day. I don't care about what you think. I got half of my family are Democrats. Do I care? No. But we still family.
Yeah, still family that doesn't talk very often. But yeah, we're still family. I'll give you that. Here's Donald Trump. Succinct history of Trump and Elon Musk. This is going to be so awesome tonight.
Tesla's now worth more than GM and Ford. Do you have comments on Elon Musk?
Well, you have to give him credit. I spoke to him very recently, and he's also doing the rockets. He likes rockets, and he does good at rockets, too, by the way. I never saw where the engines come down with no wings, no anything, and they're landing. I said, I've never seen that before. And I was worried about him because he's one of our great geniuses, and we have to protect our genius. We have to protect Thomas Edison, and we have to protect all of these people that came up with originally the light bulb and the wheel and all of these things. And he's one of our very smart people, and we want to cherish those people. That's very important. But he's done a very good job. Shocking how well, how it's come so fast. I mean, you go back a year, and they were talking about the end of the company, and now all of a sudden they're talking about these great things. He's going to be building a very big plant in the United States. He has to, because we help him, so he has to help us.
Nice. I love how that works. And he's right. And we're going to get to that more. It is funny how he brings up Edison. For any of you guys that are any sort of Tesla fans at all, Nikola Tesla, I should say. He is, I don't know if there's some dude down the street named Tesla or the stupid cars, but whatever. Nikola Tesla, there's two key big giant thorns in his side, maybe more, but there's two giant ones, Westinghouse and Edison. Edison was a huge dick to Tesla. So it's funny. He stole some of his ideas. He would fight him. It was just a lot of, not physically fight him, but anyway, it was an interesting time. Let's just put it that way. So it is funny that Trump brings that up because Trump's uncle was supposedly one of the people that went and collected a lot of the stuff or data or whatever from Tesla's lab after he passed away. So again, a very interesting little side story, but always more to come. Here's Kash Patel, kind of talking about some of the stuff that Elon Musk has actually done for the Department of Defense and more, and how big a deal that is. How much bigger it probably is than we even realize. And Elon Musk that's why this dude's huge and being super cool, by the way, and helping the movement. And they've been giving him gobs of government dollars. So this is, again, more of that.
So when I was over at DOD, we gave this guy
That's Department of Defense.
Yeah, sorry.
Or DOD.
Yeah. He is doing some cool stuff in space and everything. He's doing a ton of stuff that you would think is so global. He is literally launching this thing called SatLink, which almost no one knows about, but he's been building for 5 years.
Wow.
Which is free Wi-Fi for the world.
Which is amazing.
The world.
It's going to change everything.
And there again, no one's talking about it. You think the Democrats would be championing this, I can be in Central Sahara Africa and get Wi-Fi on my $3 million phone.
Yeah.
But they're not. And if you've actually watched one of these satellite link uploads, it's like a string of pearls being dropped in the night sky. It's really cool. I mean, we're all paying for it. This is why he's so rich. DOD's biggest contractor is Elon Musk.
That's right. Oh, very interesting. I just learned something I didn't.
I'll never get hired from him now. Can you edit that out?
Yeah. Drop it on the floor. Joe, does the government deserve it?
Yeah, it's funny as hell. And Musk, of course, laughs at that. It's true, and it's not a bad thing for everybody to know. So tonight, Donald Trump, truth this out. Donald Trump and Elon Musk live on X. It will be on Donald Trump's X channel, which I'll have up in here in a second as I'm showing one of his unique posts that he had today. I don't think he's gone hog wild crazy yet, but he's back, unquestionably. He didn't talk about the storm, but wow, that almost makes that tweet possible now, doesn't it? Huh. Yeah, it's probably just a funny little quinky-dink, I'm sure. Here is one of the first videos he posted, which is super cool, I think.
Trump has left the building.
We can now project the winner of the presidential race. Donald Trump wins the presidency. What started off as unlikely, impossible, is now reality.
I will fight for you with every breath in my body, and I will never, ever let you down.
We have a president who actually fulfilled the promises he made during the campaign, securing the border to foreign policy.
He now has a record as president.
Last night, and I was just like, I am excited to be a part of this. Like, just so much stuff. Like, it's what we're here for. It's what I've been waiting my whole life for. Like, it's getting close. That much is true. And we've got Trump that's helping through this. Like, we've got Musk that's helping through this. We've got people like me and others helping through this. We're going to be fine. And this is going to build. It's only going to grow. And the power is going to continue. Donald Trump Truth This, and it's at Real Donald Trump. If you guys are curious what his Twitter handle is, at Real Donald Trump is the one that's Donald Trump, the real one. Should have no problem. I think if you just type at Real, you get that far, and I think he's the first choice that's probably going to pop up. But he says, are you better off now than you were when I was president? Our economy is shattered. Our border has been erased. We are a nation in decline. Make the American dream affordable again. Make America safe again. Make America great again. Again, easy things for everybody to get behind. Everybody. Even people on the other side of the aisle. Elon Musk is talking about the live stream because live conversation on X with that Real Donald Trump and me at 8 p.m. Eastern tomorrow. This was, of course, yesterday. Today is the day. This is unscripted with no limits on subject matter, so should be highly entertaining. If you have specific questions and comments, post them under the chat. You might very well want to post them in the chat of the meeting itself, or at least in the comments or whatever. If you want certain questions answered, obviously they're going to go through the best they can. I'm sure there's a few people they've got digging through them. You can only ask so many questions, but hopefully they get some good stuff together. European Union's essentially a European Commission, whatever, are basically writing Musk in regards to tonight's broadcast, which is going to be broadcast to the European Union. And they're essentially telling, this is Thierry Breton, I guess, is telling England, or telling Musk, that he needs to be careful about how this will affect others, and how this, and having Donald Trump talk, and how this is going to, it's a very trippy letter. It's like, wow, you are doing everything you can to either A, get Musk to just like ban it in the EU, or B, have him just broadcast it and then deal with whatever they try to throw at him, which I think is probably the better choice. More fun anyways. I think Musk could get some mileage out of that for sure. That'll only help him, right? So we'll see. EU's kind of being dicks right now. They're trying to, I think, use England even, which England, no, they weren't using England. That's something else, I think. It has to be. EU, I don't know why. Oh, following the unrest in England. But England, you're not even part of the European Union anymore, right? Didn't you guys exit, Brexit? Didn't you British exit it out? I thought you guys were out. Whatever the case is. Who knows? It wouldn't be surprised if, somebody didn't know what the hell they were talking about, like me, often. Imposing certain sanctions in the event of foreign interference in the United States election. So we've got this new thing that was put in an executive order. John Harold he's really good on the executive. He's good at a lot of stuff. And he's, I guess, had one of the largest streams on Rumble. No, good on you, John. That's fantastic. I've met John. I've been on with a couple times. We at least know each other, I guess, from a standpoint. And one of my very good friends works closely with him. So I've got love in my heart for the dude. I love the work John does. Devolution was fabulous. I had him on back when he was doing that. I think it might have been his 7th one was out. And I had read them all, and that was one thing he told me. He goes, I really like the fact that you actually read my work, unlike a lot of people that have me on their shows. See, and that was the thing that was kind of interesting to me. It was like, I learned something. I'm like, this is just people floating people around, but that doesn't necessarily make them right, wrong, or I don't know. I just feel like there should be more discussion. Anyway, I got mad respect for this dude. Including through the unauthorized access of election and campaign infrastructure. Donald Trump put this in there, which means this is... sanctions can be thrown at a country if this in fact happened. Now, I guess if we're going to blame it on Iran, Maybe it was Iran. I don't know. Maybe this is, the possibility. Maybe this is a way to, there's some weird stuff going on. We're going to talk about it, I think, here coming up shortly, because Trump's going to be he's actually suing the DOD. That's going to be interesting. So it seemed like he saw this coming. And this was September of 2018 when he put this executive order in, September 12th, oddly, the day after, September 11th, the new day. Oops. This mic does not like to be touched. My other mic was a little more cool with it, but not this one. All said, doesn't matter. Trump is going to sue the DOJ for $100 million over the Mar-a-Lago raid alleging political persecution. It's probably true. You guys get it. We've told this story. We know what's up. And the fact that the case was just dropped against him, Eileen Cannon dropped the case last month because Smith was not lawfully appointed. She cited that citing the appointments clause in the Constitution. So, boom, done. So they're in a weird place now, and now Trump's suing for damages, for all the injury, for so much, for lawyer fees. And one bad side of this is that it comes out of taxpayers' money. I know we're going bankrupt, so I guess I kind of don't care. Two, they've raped Trump, and for him to have to eat the $100 million or have to raise that through campaign funds or something, I don't know. I feel like that's exorbitant by far. So, yeah, and I think it does set a precedent for what, Engoron and Judge Duchan, a.k.a. Merchan, what those two are going to be facing in the near future. Lawsuits probably coming, because you guys are going after just somebody that's running for president as a state, which is so messed up. He's doing a national thing, and you as a state feel like you can go after him for some made-up bullshit. Well done. Oh, yeah, you guys are screwed. So, yeah, just think lawsuits are coming, Duchan, and probably going to involve your daughter, because if she was campaigning off this, then she was directly involved, influenced you, so she's probably going to get pulled into that. Most likely is going to ruin her company, too. That sucks. What a bummer. Oh, well, at least the whole family gets taken down in one fell swoop. Dirty bastards. I'm alleging they're dirty bastards. I don't know for sure whether they're dirty. Oh, they're bastards, that's for sure. All right, Kamala Harris has extraordinary friendship with Disney executive Dana Walden, overseeing ABC, which is going to host her first debate. Dude, anybody that doesn't get it, now because it's Daily Mail, they're just trying to, one, get ABC mentioned, two, just try to get some hype around this, right? I hope you guys all know. I say it a lot, I don't know, maybe I'm, missing, maybe I'm just making a big deal about it. It does blow me away, and it does upset me how much I see people talking about, I can't believe the media doesn't. Shut the hell up, really? I can't believe you think the media would. Read out of Secretary of Defense Lloyd J. Austin III has called with Israeli Prime Minister and Minister of Defense, Yoav Gallant. I guess they had a little call. Secretary Austin has ordered the USS Abraham Lincoln Carrier Strike Group equipped with F-35s into the area. Additionally, he's also ordered the USS Georgia, the SSGN 729 guided missile submarine in the Central Command region is also going there. Is that one of those boomers that got converted to just mostly non-intercontinental ballistic missiles, but actual cruise missiles, basically? It could be nuclear as well, but are probably most likely, hopefully, loadable, I would assume. Anyway, I haven't played any simulators that have that kind of dialed in. Israel is bracing for the suspected Iran attack in days. We kind of got a little more escalation on that, and it kind of sort of happened. So they are preparing. We've even got right now going into filming or recording actual legitimate any moment now. They're literally it's getting a little crazy. So stuff's going on probably right now or already has by the time you're watching this.
This is a Fox News alert. I'm John Scott in New York. Israel is on high alert after the Iran-backed group Hezbollah fired 30 rockets from Lebanon toward northern Israel tonight. The IDF says no one got hurt. The strike comes as Israel braces for a potential major attack from Iran or its proxies in the Middle East. Iran is vowing vengeance for the assassinations of a Hamas and Hezbollah leader a couple of weeks ago. This all coming as Hamas is casting doubt over whether a ceasefire and hostage deal can be reached with Israel. The militant group says it will not attend negotiations scheduled for this Thursday. Instead, it's urging mediators to submit a plan based on the framework President Biden laid out earlier this year. Hamas rejected an invitation a day after Israel carried out an airstrike on a school in Gaza, killing at least 80 people. Fox News cannot verify those numbers.
Yeah, of course. Like, there was 150 kids killed. It's like, can you show any of them? Nope. You just got to believe me. No. All right, so some pretty hardcore rocket attacks have gone into northern Israel from Lebanon. We're not 100% sure. I mean, it seems most of them hit the ground. We're going to show a video of it. But why didn't Iron Dome, or they maybe not set up there? Was this maybe a give me back for the attack that they did so Israel could at least claim some sort of victory? Again, I don't know. It's weird that they didn't meet any resistance from Israel on this attack. I don't know what was killed and what wasn't killed, what was damaged. The explosions seem very loud and percussive. I don't know how damaging they are, but they seem to be pretty big explosives, at least. I don't know. What's a bummer is the video's 15 seconds long and you never heard the sound, which implies to me that they're seeing it from more than, roughly 3 miles. It'd be, 5,280 feet per second, right? But they're roughly 3 miles. That's a trip, actually, that from that far away, they still, right? There must be further away and they still look like pretty big explosions. Now, interestingly, we have better video. Now, I would defer to any of my military friends. If you guys could rumble in there, man, or comment in, or wherever you're at, wherever you're watching this, like throw a comment. They're like, what type of explosions are those? Those are trippy. Like, are those? It's got a weird sound. It doesn't have a kaboom kind of sound. It's got a weird sort of like one of those gas bombs that suck all the air out of things. I don't know if it's one of those, maybe, and maybe that's what they are. It's just people killers. I don't know. Curious what you guys think, because I don't have any experience with stuff like that. Those gastrobaric, hyperbaric bomb, whatever they are, whatever. You guys are going to correct me, but yeah, it's close enough. Close enough. You guys know what I'm talking about. Those bombs. Turkey apparently conducted a military airstrike into northern Iraq and neutralized 17 members of the PKK terrorist group. Just let that number marinate. I don't like to call everything out all the time. I think sometimes people think that because I don't, that I somehow didn't realize I said 17. I realized I said 17. I just, Q times or things, I just, hey, PKK terrorist group, they are claiming they did this, or they're going and killing them. Sorry, Turkey was. They're, instead of attacking Israel, they're attacking this other group. This does very much feel like the deep state is having its forces destroyed. This is a deep state group, is my guess, this terrorist group. If Turkey's helping us, that's very significant, because they were the ones that were like threatening to basically go across the border into Israel. And here they are attacking into northern Iraq to help the bigger picture, it seems. I don't know. Iranian attack on Israel is expected within immediate time frame. We just don't know. This is coming from officials right now. We don't know. Any second. Our ships are basically almost en route. So now it can happen, which would imply to me they need extra forces to help shoot down a lot of the stuff. Are we going to do that again? Is this going to be a big show of force, a run? It's going to shoot off 100 million, rockets, missiles, whatever the hell. We'll see. We'll see, that's for sure. U.S. warns of severe response if Iran transfers missiles to Russia. So now we're just like, if you do the same thing that we do to you, if you do that back to us, there's going to be anybody that helps you is going to be in severe punishment. So now all of a sudden, anybody that helps Russia is our big enemy. And we're going to make sure of it. Think about it. It's the deep state. It's trying to play out a war scenario very badly. Now, I do believe China. I do believe Russia. I do believe a lot of these powers, these rulers, do understand what the deep state's trying to do and are basically trying to keep us from killing each other. Trying to. Hard. It's tricky. But this is a way that Iran can, one, make money, which is not good because we got sanctions and shit. Two, they're going to help Russia kind of rearm because it seems to be fighting everybody else. And again, I don't know. I just don't like the fact that we're all killing each other. It really bugs the shit out of me. Like, I don't care who it is. Like, there's better ways we can handle this than shooting missiles and possibly escalating to potential world wars where nuclear weapons are used, or, you know, possibly the fracturing of a friggin' Zaporozhye nuclear power station. Had some smoke and fire coming from this thing today, causing a lot of people to, let's just say, freak out, which makes sense. It looks, some on the outside, the smoke, or the inside? It looks like it's inside the cooling tower is what we understand. Now, we did find out after they tried to turn this into the biggest deal that there was being an attack. There was an attack against it, right? Because it's showing smoke. There must be damage. Well, no. What we found out, apparently, not sure who did it, but it seems like a bunch of tires were put inside of the cooling tower and then caught on fire to make smoke, obviously. Now, it could have been symbolic in some weird sort of way. Maybe they just chose a new pope or something. Don't think so. It's not usually how that works. Just saying. Putin says Russia confirms Ukrainian troops have seized 28 settlements in Russia's Kursk region. Putin vows to kick the enemy out. So there's going to be severe retaliations coming, I'm assuming, from Russia because they got hit hard recently from what the rumors are. Again, it's so hard to get good information. You know, Ukraine always tries to make it sound like they're destroying Russia, and Russia's like, they don't touch us a single bit. And I don't think neither of those things are true. Russia's gotten hit pretty hard a few times. Not cool. We just got to be prepared, guys, because things are getting a little crazy out there. I want any of you guys that are outdoorsy people, I really got to fix that. Any of you that are outdoorsy people, like RVing and all that kind of stuff, this is definitely for you. Anybody that's got a freezer that's got all sorts of meats and stuff in it, this is for you. Anybody that lives in a place that literally loses power on a really regular basis, maybe storms and everything else, certainly been there before, or California, just because we can't handle the drain on our own stuff. This is also for you. It's an American-made company making a product. EcoFlow is kind of the competition that's out there. It's made by China, by the way, and I've actually owned one of them. It's made completely of plastic, which is weird, right? But again, works fine. It's a battery, yada, yada. I don't know about the overall long-time charging. This is made for the military. It's made in America, and it's also got metal around it, which means it's got a Faraday cage around it. What does that mean, Dan? Faraday cage means you've got a metal box around you. If you sit inside a medical box and hit it with a lightning or anything like that, you're going to be perfectly fine. It's why lightning strikes inside a car is usually a good place if there's a metal frame, right? It's just you'll be protected inside the car. It's the effect. I forget the name of it. These are made with that same technology. It's got a metal box, which means the insides are protected from an EMP or anything that could crazy happen. Or maybe the sun. Because that's one of the things, if the sun burps in a weird way, that throws kind of an EMP too, possibly. This is a great product. Made, again, in America. Energy Tech. I-N-E-R-G-Y. I-N-E-R-G-Y. Energy with an I. Energy. You just got to say it like George Bush. It's energy. If you say it like that, you'll spell it right. Tech, T-E-K. EnergyTech.com/on the fringe. I know it's kind of tough to get that website to you. You should definitely check these out. They've got a number of these different batteries. This is going to take you straight to the Flex 1500. It's also, with your email address, going to get you up to $75 off if you're interested. They're not cheap, but they're freaking awesome. I was running my flat screen. I've actually been able to fire up my laptops and all sorts of crazy stuff easily. This thing, 1500 continuous watts, up to 3000 spike. I've definitely run refrigerators with stuff like this. It's incredible what you can do with this product. You can charge your laptops, charge your phones, whatever. And if you're out in the middle of nowhere, you actually can buy solar panels to go with it and charge this thing in a very quick amount of time. It's an impressive device, again, made in America. Energy Tech, I-N-E-R-G-Y-T-E-K. Energy with an I, like George Bush would say. And Tech, T-E-K. Probably still how George Bush would spell it because it's short and sweet and simple. EnergyTech.com/on the fringe. EnergyTech.com/on the fringe. Get yourself one of these batteries, or at least check it out. You're going to be shocked at how cool these things are. And you need to think kind of, ooh, when the lights go out, can I survive? You'll have a generator, but what happens when that runs out? Or you could even charge this with your generator if necessity arrives. If we're in the middle of a zombie apocalypse, I would recommend not turning the generator on. They always seem to go to the noise. Keep that in mind. Solar panels don't make noise. They reflect light, but they don't make noise. All said. energytech.com/on the fringe. Boris, the media tycoon? Politico is wondering. Apparently, Boris Yeltsin is now being tapped for some major newspaper job. Oh, so he's going to, propagandize from a different platform because Boris Yeltsin's 100% on board with the deep state. And the deep state's like, no, you're not done working, home dog. You're not retiring. We still need you. So we'll see. Boris Yeltsin's probably going to be allowing all sorts of crazy crap to be coming. What newspaper is it? The Telegraph? Sounded out a key Telegraph job was reported on Monday. Is that the street? Is that the name of the paper? I think it is. Chief of the Telegraph broadcast sheet. Sky News said. I think crazy names, BBC and Politico and whatever. This is kind of funny. It's not. I mean, it's horrible. Don't get me wrong, but it's just staff of Wembley Stadium is going to be trained to watch out for strange people during the 5 consecutive Taylor Swift concerts in London later this week, following a plot by Islamic terrorists to attack a Swift gig in Vienna, Austria. I'm not going to be there, guys. Strange people? Who are you talking about? What? No, not going to be there. Not going. Maybe someone else. Who knows? Yeah, so after the thing and the attack, and again, they're trying to make noise. Maybe this is the Black Swan event, right? They can't take out Taylor Swift, though. They need her for, to promote Biden at some point, or Michael Obama, or someone. I don't know. So she's got to be fine. We'll see. They are going to do... And I keep hearing rumors. That's the other thing. I keep hearing rumors about this Black Swan event that's supposed to come. I don't know. Might. I don't know when. They'll do it when it's right, but there's definitely some stuff coming. Be prepared. We've talked... Black Swans are the worst because they're, hard on the economy. So, we've talked about it. DRS-gold.com. Just keep that in mind. Primary election wins across Hawaii. This is disappointing, but that... really going to
other wins across it.
Annoying. They're... That's so annoying. That's extra annoying. Ugh. Just because of who it is. The Hawaiian chick, Hirono. I call her that. I don't know. Of the other choices, they maybe are Hawaiian. They probably all live there, but she looks very Pacific Islander, I guess. Maybe that's my problem. That's probably racist, I'm sure. But whatever. The case is, she won, hands down, 84%. Doesn't sound like there's any contest there. Whatever. It is what it is, folks. It is what it is. Okay. And there we go. The WHO director, General Dr. Tedros. It's surprising he's still there. We have all these other leaders that have turned over, but this guy's still running around. The climate crisis is a health crisis and not a hypothetical crisis in the future. It's right here, right now. Climate-related humanitarian emergencies are increasing in a scale, frequency, and intensity, yada, yada. I do believe heavily that they want to make a climate crisis occur. What I'm noticing, though, and I have been noticing, I've seen a number of interesting tropical storms, or tropical depressions, I should call them, make their way across, and some of them have gone slamming into the coast, but it's weird is they're having a hard time getting any sort of circulation on them. When they don't circular, when they start to do that, that's when they start to organize, if you will, and that's when you know a big storm's coming. But they seem like they're staying scattered coming across the ocean. So it's weird. It's like they're not, I don't know, it doesn't seem like they're getting what they were hoping. And anything they can spin up close to home, they're not building enough energy through the Gulf when they slam it into the coast to actually do the level of damage that they could have done. I don't know. We'll see if we can continue through that. And this is just one of the things I've noticed. They keep talking about, I see them, they talk about the storms that are coming, but they're like, it's not doing what they want. I don't know. It seems like they don't have the strength they used to have. This is my kind of read on it. I don't know if you guys agree. I'm curious. Throw that in the comments too. Now, people need to talk about this stuff. Fauci says he got infected about 2 weeks ago. It was my third infection, and I had been vaccinated and boosted a total of 6 times. What were you vaccinated for? And why? They say it's to help make it better and quicker. I didn't go through that, and I got flu, I think. Maybe COVID one time, but it didn't last a real long time. I obviously used other methods to help. But I find it strange. It's just you got boosted a bunch. This is your third time getting it? I I don't know. I don't know if that, if that word you keep saying actually means what you think it means. Body cam footage now is revealing details of the disastrous police response in Uvalde. I'm hurting on time. It's just, again, more like, yeah, these cops just didn't have their act together. They weren't coordinated. They had to have been coming from higher up. Again, a lot of the same problems I think we constantly see. When issues break out, the people that are up on the top that can actually cause an issue to happen or be at a place that can control the issue, a deep state asset, they're being utilized to try to keep these things from occurring. So, or trying to try to allow places where these bad behaviors can happen, and then they can have some sort of effect on the police's outcome, and because they're idiots. And they'll just take the fall if they have to. Or if they're lucky, they can pull it off. Or possibly become mayor of Uvalde. I think the police chief was trying to do after he got laughed out of town. Now, just something, and again, I don't know. I'm not trying to... just one of the many things where I think maybe there is this round because there's just stuff that's hard to explain that happens that we can see with our own eyes. Like, we don't need the government to tell us that. I'm like, okay, so how does that happen if this is flat? Like, this is a flat Earth. How do things like the Perseid meteor shower happen? I don't know. Just kind of wondering. Now, this is obviously not real time. This is freeze framed. But that's a lot of rocks, I guess, or stuff, or spaceships, or whatever. I don't know. What do you guys say it is? I mean, it happens. It's obviously happening. I mean, the Coriolis effect's another one that bugs me a little, but I don't have that. But what is interesting, there's a lot of people that don't believe that you can go into space or that people at the space station are actually at the space station. Again, this is one of those funny things. Like, here's the space station flying over Earth. I'm not trying to prove the Earth's flat. I'm not. Just trying to tell you why I think it's round. One of many reasons, anyway. It's like stuff that is possible. Now, a lot of people would be like, Dan, how do you know that that's actually the space station? Well, in this particular video, I don't actually know. We'll get there in a second. But I've seen this, and I remember actually at the time where if you looked at it, it looked blobulous, if you will, on the side. But we had binoculars. And when I pulled out the binoculars and looked at it, I could see the solar panels. So this is interesting. Now, again, this is, what it looked like. And I've seen satellites before. That's what they look like, too. Here is a dude filming the space station. And he can actually see it with his own backyard camera. So again, I'm not trying to prove, I'm not trying to disprove, I'm just trying to say there are things that we can do with our own eyes and money very easily. Going to Antarctica, tricky. I don't know, right? Like, it'd be fun to try to do that at some point. But some stuff we can do, right? So just because I can't go to Antarctica, it's like, well, we still got stuff flying over the planet. For sure. Like, how the shit does orbit work if you're just, flat or whatever? How do they just float up there? How does that work? There's no gravity when you get above? I mean, I don't know. I want to hear the explanations. You guys got to come up with some. May not make sense, but at least something. So I don't know how you guys feel about this, but Pornhub currently blocked in 12 states due to age verification laws. It's kind of interesting. You got Montana, Idaho, Utah, Nebraska? Which one's that? Right under it. Is that North Dakota or something? No. What is it? Texas? The hell's the one right here? Missouri? Anyway, whatever. I don't want to do them all because I'm going to get them wrong. North Carolina, South Carolina. We got Virginia probably right, or West Virginia is over there. Yeah. Anyway, whatever. I'm bad at that stuff, but I have traveled to a few of these places. Lived in Tennessee for a while. All said, yeah, some would say that's progress. I don't know. Closing ceremonies, I guess, of the Olympics were super crazy. Just throwing it out there. This dude in his gold crazy outfit jumping around doing some reasonably good acrobatic maneuver, by the way. That would be hard to do. Crazy nails, weird, some French Golden Voyager character. That's some French thing, which explains so much. But yeah, some weird-ass thing at the end. I guess the music had a weird reverb to it, so it was messing with people's heads. I would assume if they were inside a stadium, that reverb had to have been crazy. And of course, some people, and I wouldn't disagree per se, but some people are speculating that maybe they were trying to mess with people's minds while they were there. Possible. They might have been trying to put stuff inside people's minds too, which maybe didn't work quite right with the reverb off the physical barrier. Like, I figured they would have tried to dial it in, but there might have been some sweet spots where if you were there, you probably heard the voice of God or something. Anyway, some guy said they watched the Olympics closing ceremony and the dystopian performance was an insult to athletes. I don't know who this was, but a lot of people were very unhappy about how this all played out. Tom Cruise did do a special little dive-in thing. It seems like he was going to try to open some flag of some kind. He's promoting this movie that's coming up, I think they were trying to say. And it didn't seem to work. Or is it, I thought they said down in here somewhere that he was going to try to open up something, jump to the top of the stadium, carried a flag from Paris to Hollywood sign in California. So I guess it was supposed to be the Hollywood sign. So they're going to work in Paris next year or whatever. But he never got it open. So anyway, we got that here. Check this out. It's him doing it. It's crazy.
Come on, only, look at this. Only Tom Cruise. This is real. Yes.
America, let's go. So it didn't look like that worked right. But dude, Tom Cruise, I don't even think I could have stood up there and not like just freaked out. I'd be like, what? You want me to do what? No, nuh-uh. I'm not going to dare do that. This is something else stupid that opened up. Folks, we're making differences. We're changing the world. It's going through some tough times right now, and it's because of you guys. It's because of your ripples. It's because of your focus. It's because you're helping people understand that there's more to this. You're bringing flavor to the game. And we need a lot of that. And we're going to continue to do that. Things are going to continue to get crazy. Yes, they're going to try to do stuff. Understand that. I totally understand that. We are still a number of days out. This fight is far from over. This fight won't end on November 5th. This fight will continue for a while. So let's kind of relax in that, knowing we're going to get some huge victories. And I see a lot of stuff moving in our direction. We've seen a lot of crazy stuff that doesn't look good for the deep state. Certainly doesn't. Turkey attacking? That's really strange. Really strange. Now, it's always northern Iraq. And that's supposedly where that U.S. base is, too, by the way. Isn't that interesting? So there's some very weird stuff happening right now. And I pray for those who are on the wrong side of the fence that are possibly going to lose their lives. I certainly pray for everybody that is having a hard time with this, just scared. And I certainly pray for all of us that are directly in battle. And I hope all of us can continue to push forward. And I hope a bunch of you join our ranks. I look forward to it. We're making a difference, guys. And I'll tell you, it's not just me alone. It's you guys. It's you. You guys are who are doing this. For some reason you enjoy my show. It's you guys that's making the difference. I love you guys. Where we go one, we friggin' seriously go all. It's on the Fringe with Dan Radio Style.